What is up, YouTube? I recently finished my first semester of university, and needless to say, there is quite a lot to tell you guys. I had a lot to adjust to, so allow me to tell you all a little bit more about it. But before we actually begin, let me tell you what I will be working on for today's video. I had initially drawn this sketch of clown peers in my new sketchbook because I really wanted to not abandon my traditional side, but because I was afraid of ruining the sketch, I decided to make a digital version of it, and that's what I will be working on for most of the video. Okay, moving on to the actual thing. Long story short, I had initially taken a 6-month semester gap after I graduated high school because I was severely burned out. I was doing the IGCSE A-level system from school, and needless to say, while those 4 years were a lot of fun for me, they were also very hectic because a lot had happened in my life, socially, academically. Let's not talk about that. Anyways, during that 6-month gap, I pretty much did everything I wanted to. I focused on my YouTube channel, I worked towards improving my art, I took courses on graphic design and video editing, kept myself busy, and even took up journaling that I had abandoned a while back. So, with all of these things in mind, I became pretty comfortable with the idea of being a sort of gap semester student and tried not to feel guilty about it because I was severely burnt out. Duh. Oh, also, will you guys believe me if I say that I changed my paths not once, not twice, but 3 times? I don't know if this counts as being 3 times because I started off as being a science student, then I became a STEM student, and after joining university, I entirely did a 360 and became a social science student. Gosh, I was so indecisive for absolutely no reason. At first, I was very intrigued in wanting to pursue a bachelor's in computer science and pursue my studies in that field, but again, I suppose it wasn't meant to be because I eventually lost interest in that subject. You could say that international relations was kind of my second major of choice if I was to ever lose interest in my first choice, which I did, and hence led me towards taking that gap semester because I had to do some research into which university in the country would be best for me. I eventually applied for the spring 2026 admission cycle for my chosen university of choice, and after submitting my documents, giving the entrance test and everything, I eventually got in. Yay! So, for me, as aforementioned, I was an IGCSE A-level kid, right? So switching to the local system was a shock. Not just any shock, a huge cultural shock. Because what do you mean I gave my midterms in April and May? Whereas back at school, I would be giving those midterms in like December to January. Another culture shock for me were the timings, because what do you mean my university timings were from 9 to 4? I was astounded when I took a look at my timetable and I was like, wait a second, what's going on? Why are the timings like that? That's basically the equivalent of a 9 to 5 job. On the brighter side of things, however, I absolutely loved the grading system here. Listen, the CIE grading system is brutal. It can either make you or break you, and it's just super strict. However, my university grading system was something else entirely, and when I first read about it, I was so shocked. It was actually flexible. It was chill. Like, what do you mean I could easily score an A if my overall percentage was like 80 to 89%? That's absolutely wild. I was so happy about it. Oh, also, in your final grade, everything is divided up. So you would have 8% for class participation, 1 for assignments, quizzes, your final exam, and midterms. And all of these combined would give you your final grade. And I think that's just so amazing. I know the assignments and quizzes and maybe the class participation is obviously a thing in the IGCSE and A-level system, but presentations were super duper rare as final projects because, duh, in university, our final projects were making and conducting presentations. And in terms of making new friends, I am super happy to tell you guys that I was able to find my people on day one. One thing all of us are definitely going to ignore is the fact that I fell into the worst art and writer's block ever since university started. Yay! But now that I am finally off for the summers, I am ready to pour out all of that energy into my creativity once more. Here is the finished piece. I had a lot of fun drawing clown peers. I had a lot of fun experimenting with different effects and styles. And here is the sketch that I used for this drawing. And that is all for today's video. I really hope you all enjoyed it. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed watching this video and would like to see more here as well. With that being said, see you all on the flip side.